Welcome back, everyone, to Trackside with Rides and Drives, a podcast for IndyCar fans. I'm Harvey, and with me is Caz and Jeff Zerschmied, who joins us from Portland, Oregon, where he has just watched a fantastic IndyCar race. Jeff, I know I've got a lot to say, but I'm sure being at the track, you have so much to tell us. How was your day?
Oh, it's a fantastic day. It's about 88 degrees here, clear blue sky, and you couldn't ask for better weather. And it's fundamentally exactly like it was last year. And Will Power came back and just showed us why he is the king of Portland International Raceway. Um, I thought earlier in the week, and I think I said in last week's podcast that I thought he would be the man to beat, and I'm never so happy to be proven correct.
Yeah, I was going to say I took your advice and picked him to win this race. So there you go.
There you go. There you go. This race was really good. At first, I the first few laps, I just couldn't believe the rookie mistakes that I was seeing.
Yep.
Santino Ferrucci should not have crashed right there. I mean, I it is difficult for me to tell you how rare it is for somebody to crash in the way that he crashed, where he crashed. Um, he clearly his first lap, end of the first lap, your tires are not completely warmed up, and if you romp on the throttle while you've still got any sort of lateral G going right there, it's going to snap spin and back you into the wall driver's right, which is maybe nobody's ever crashed there before.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not rare.
like the first thing they teach you in driver's school, right? When you're in
Yeah,
racing school is the accelerator pedal matches your hand. So as you
yeah,
unwind, then you put the throttle in. You can't put the throttle in before you unwind. I mean, he knows that. And spinning in a
yeah.
quarter like that early while you're waiting for the tires to come up, he knows better than that. He's been racing
So,
long enough.
so
And then
guys, for me, as a non-driver, I watch that and I'm like, wow, rookie mistake. But you're saying it's beyond. Like
I'm
it's
saying
a
it's
non-IndyCar driver mistake.
yeah, it's well, although we see, I see things that these guys do, and I'm aware they're under tremendous pressure. I certainly could not drive an Indy car. I mean, for one, I couldn't fit into it, but I cannot drive at anything like the level that these guys do. But there were today, I think, in the early laps, some lapses in judgment. Let's
Yeah.
let's call it that, because the sort of fight that we saw played out, and I don't have my notes with me, so I can't remember Daly
Yeah.
Daly
and
and Rasmussen. I
the
was
other
going to say, if we're going to
and
talk about
Rasmussen.
bad behavior,
Yeah, I mean they start beating on each other, and then they Daly gets taken out in a wreck that really could have been injurious, because when you come off of turn 12, turn 10, remember I told you last week, that's the fastest place on the track. And you have this little gentle left and then the right that you have to transition to. And right then, when he was at that fastest point and turning left in 10, quang, off he goes. And the minute you hit the dry grass, it's like being on ice. Your car just feels like it accelerates when you hit the grass. And at that point, I don't know, you might have to edit this out, but my term for it is you're Isaac Newton's bitch. And you're ballistic. You're going where momentum is taking you, and that's right into the tire wall. And it
Yeah, he
looks
got
nice and
lucky he
soft.
hit that thing sideways as opposed
yeah.
to straight on.
Yeah,
And yeah, I've been following this sport in forever, and 15 years ago, that would have been a very serious accident. I was really thankful that he was able to walk away from that.
yeah, absolutely. But what it shows is that when you get angry on track and you start thinking about revenge, you're not thinking about driving your car in the race. You're now like, I'm going to show that guy, I'm going to da 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 da. You're doing anything but keeping your focus on the race ahead of you. And as a result, there was Daly out in lap 9,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
ex-
And
Yeah.
That's
And there
the
was real kind of pissy driver energy coming from both of them for
yeah. Oh
me.
yeah, absolutely. They
Yeah,
were
when he nosed him
banging on each other.
in turn two like that, clearly as a retaliation for the first,
Yep.
Rasmussen started it.
yeah,
Daly gave it back.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know, that's not smart driving. No matter
Mm.
how you slice it. If I was the chief steward of this event, I would sit down both of those drivers and say, so you guys both screwed yourselves,
yeah,
and it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost your team money. Um, you know, what did you do for your sponsor today?
yeah,
Uh, and
What a
try
way
to
to think about it.
well, and I'm
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
mindful that these are young men and I'm an old man, and there's but you're going to learn this stuff if you're going to be a professional race driver. So
Mhm.
let's stop with the carping on the guys who took themselves out early, and get into the guys who really put on a master class in great driving today. And that
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
is that is of course our top three: Pelot,
Hmm.
Lundgaard, and of course Will Power. Also, major props to Graham Rahal, who did a great showing. And towards the end, he was kind of chopping a second off of his gap every lap, and I was wondering if it would be enough, and it wasn't. Um, but these were drivers, all three of them kept their nose clean, saved their car, had stuff to be there at the end. They were really smart with their tire choices. They just ran a really smart race, made no mistakes. And right there at the end, Pelot had to, I mean, what was it that Senna used to say? If you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
right,
And so Pelot made his effort with Lundgaard. I think Lundgaard was in the worst position you can be in, which is I want to make a move on power, but if I do, Pelot's going to eat my lunch. He's right behind me, just waiting for me to step out of line. And so I can either be happy with second, or I can try for first and maybe lose everything. And I
right,
think he made the smart choice. Um, he just sat there in second place. If Power had done anything wrong, in one of those brilliant moves where he put a lap car in between himself and the next two, I mean that was textbook. That was old school.
yep.
That's exactly what I would try to do at that point. Is get some slow guy behind me right as we go into the Shelton chicane, and have him balk those other two.
Well, and then when it turned out to be not his teammate, but one of their engineering stablemates, you
Hmm.
know, then that driver, I forget who it was, he was kind of obligated to slow Lundgaard down, right?
Sure. Well, you're not, you don't want to block, but by the
No.
same token, you're going to make them have to pass you.
Yeah,
And
exactly. He didn't
and
just pull over and let him go like in the previous lap
hmm,
when
right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
So
yeah, I thought, super race by those three. You could really tell. I mean, I feel really bad for Pato Award.
I do
He had done
too.
such a good job to get himself set up to continue the championship fight for at least another race, and to have a wire shake loose or a short on their power unit. It
Yeah.
was just too bad. But it because he drove a great first lap of that race. I mean, he
He
did
did.
everything he needed to do to get out front, lead through one and two, and just do it right. And it looked like he was in for a really good day.
Two great restarts from Pato. Also,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
the first one in
Agreed.
particular, where he put a second and a half gap on nearly immediately, I was so impressed by.
As Richard Petty used to say, that's why they call it racing and not winning,
Yeah.
with respect to Pato. But yeah, not. I don't think you can take anything away from the brilliant performance that was given here today by Will Power, Christian Lundgaard, and Alex Pelot. And Pelot, of course, earned his championship today. That's great. Put him put him in the Hall of Fame with the great ones.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, and he's only 28. The only thing that will keep him, the only thing I think right now that'll keep him from becoming the winningest driver in IndyCar history is if he decides to go to F1.
The lure of another series. But I
Yes.
don't think
You know,
I mean, based on the way he talks, it doesn't seem like he feels that. If I'm Alex Palou and I'm in IndyCar right now, I'm having a great time. Why would I leave?
he's making a ton of money. He's at the top of his game. It's a great market, and if he goes to F1,
We all know what those seats look like because he's not going in as a number one
there's
driver.
Mm-mm.
there's no guarantee that he won't be, just another driver there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So, any other high points of the race for you, Jeff? Anything?
there he is.
There he is.
Good one,
Speak,
Alex.
All
speaking of
right.
Alex.
Well, listen, I should head out. Well,
Okay. You go do that. We are going to finish up and check in on our predictions and see how good or bad we were. And we'll talk to you real soon, Jeff, about more from this great series. So, and having you help
excellent.
us out. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so
Thanks
much
for
for
having me,
spending the
guys.
weekend with us, Jeff.
We'll see you soon.
Great. Bye. All right, Kaz. What were some of your takeaways from this race?
So I think the thing that I had the most fun with this race was that our podium were on 3 different tire strategies.
Yeah, that's true. That was
Coming into the end of the race, we're seeing 3 different strategies converge, and they all could have worked. If Pelot had not been menacing Lundgaard and he had been able to really press his tire advantage against Will,
right.
he could have won the race. If Pelot had been able to get by Lundgaard quickly, he could have won the race.
Yep.
It's
And
entirely possible that Lundgaard could have won the race by holding off Pelot, and then Will's used tires start to fall off in the last 8 laps, which was kind of what was predicted. He was able to hold it together pretty well, but maybe he wouldn't have been on those used tires. It was really fun to watch a race where the last 20 laps is just kind of an anything goes situation, and it's because they all chose to do 3 different things.
oh yeah, and to watch 3 cars run essentially nose to tail for
Mm-hmm.
15, 20 laps with
Mm-hmm.
lots of attempted passes, the strategy coming in with back markers and how are you going to handle them to keep yourself ahead. I mean, it was everything a great race should be.
And then something else that I really want to talk about with respects to the last 20 laps for the top 3 is I texted you, I think somewhere around 15 laps to go. And I said, this is a chance, this is an opportunity for Lundgaard to impress us even further than he already has, because he had a great race already. If he finished third, it would have been an incredible race for him. But I didn't put a lot of money on him being able to hold off Pelot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought given Pelot's history, his ability to get so much out of his car, and Lundgaard did a great job of making his car wide where it needed to be without being gratuitous, and
Mm-hmm.
taking advantage of things. He gave Alex to the inch the room he would have needed to pull that pass off.
A friend of mine who does not watch IndyCar regularly was watching the end of this race. He texted me. He's a Formula One fan. He said, "That's a penalty, right? They'd be all over team radio in Formula One." And I said, "Absolutely not." Lundgaard put the car just by the inch where he needed to put it to give Pelot just enough room, but enough that somebody's going to bobble sometimes.
Right.
And Alex had the rare bobble at the wrong time. It was so cool to see.
Yeah, no, I think we really saw another great race. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had some great finishes here in
Mm-hmm.
these last few IndyCar races, and it's been, it's funny, even with Pelot winning so many races, it's been a very competitive season. With a lot of people having the opportunity to win races.
These last couple of races, a big takeaway for me is how good Christian Lundgaard is going to be with a little more practice and a little more races under his belt. He is he's so impressive to me with his first season at McLaren.
Yep.
I can imagine him getting better and better for the next couple of years. I think we could be looking at a pretty great driver.
I think it's pretty interesting in this race that you look at the first three and Power, Lundgaard, and Palou, and you say, okay, any one of those could end up on the podium and no one would be surprised.
Mhm.
Then look at the next three finishers.
Yeah.
Rahal, Rossi, and Ilott. And it's like, wow, where did those guys come from? And, again, it's like any given Sunday in IndyCar, people can be competitive if you get the strategy right, like Rahal did.
And I know I'm going to sound stupid by saying this. I know it is stupid, but it's lap 70 when he pit. At lap 69, I'm definitely sitting there thinking, is it possible he has another 5 to 8 laps in him?
Yeah.
Because if he could have made it to lap 75, that's 35 laps left. Will ran 35 laps. We know that that's an amount of laps you can run.
Yep.
Refueling made it impossible. There were not quite enough laps under caution. But for a brief second, I'm sitting there thinking, is Graham Rahal going to sneak his way in and win this race somehow? It was a really cool moment.
Yeah. No, there were a lot of really good moments in this race. There were, a lot of great performances, a few head scratchers. I just can't understand Dixon running into the back of Newgarden like that. I mean, that was as, if not more bonehead than, what Ferrucci did on the first lap.
Perplexing and wildly disappointing to me, and not just because of my prediction. I guess I'm a Penske fan. That's not something I really realized until the last couple of races, but I was so excited to see them coming back and doing so well. And Joseph in particular has gotten scooped up by other cars multiple times this season. I think this is the third time that comes to me off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, the race in St. Louis, there was nothing
the Indy
to do
500.
about that. The Indy 500 and this one, this was not his fault. Dixon just ran him off the road, and that's so unfortunate because, as you predicted, and I'm half thinking about giving you a few points.
That's our like kind of freebie question.
Yeah.
So maybe you could still do it.
That's all right. So let's use that to move into the predictions.
Pretty good segue, Dad.
Yeah. So let's see. We didn't do badly on them.
No, actually, mine are.
You had
mine
two
were
of the
close
three
to being great.
You had two of the three on the podium.
I had two of the three on the podium, neither in the right place.
Right.
But that's a point each. So for our podiums, just to run through it, I had Power in third, Palou in second, and Rosenquist in first. And Harvey, you had Award, Rosenquist, Palou, or Power.
Right.
That's right. Okay.
So I had Power in first, and guess what? He finished
2
third.
points for you. Woo-hoo. Congratulations. And honestly, I couldn't be happier to give him away.
Yeah.
Seeing him win this race a year after his last race win, I do get into the goofy drama of it all as well. I liked 100 Days to Indy. Liz Power is, as far as I'm concerned, a really cool lady. And watching her get to be there and so happy for her husband was awesome. So yeah, couldn't be happier to give you those 2 points. I'm also walking away with 2 points. While I did not have any of my drivers in the correct position, I did have 2 of the drivers on the podium correct.
That's it.
So good for me.
All right. Well, then we had our biggest movers, and mine flamed out spectacularly on lap 1 because I picked Ferrucci, and he, as we saw, made a rookie mistake coming out of turn 12 and put himself in the wall. You had Kirkwood, and that didn't
yield fruit.
Yield much either.
It was looking really good midway through the race, but
he started 20th and ended 19th. Started 19th
the
and
opposite,
ended 20th.
Harvey.
And that doesn't give you any
can't even give me
points.
credit for one place.
No. So you don't get a place. point
No.
for that. So
No,
that
neither of
was
us.
no good.
You know, Harvey, we're so close to the end of the race that I haven't actually looked at who the biggest mover was. Who are we looking at?
Yeah, let's take a look. Well,
It's got to be Ray Hall.
I would think so.
I don't know where he
Yeah,
started.
without a doubt. Well, no, Ray Hall went from 22nd to 4th, and Callum Ilott went from 24th to 6th. So they
Oh, we've got a
tied
tie.
for biggest mover of the race, which good for both of them.
Good,
That's
so good for both of them.
yeah, and for Ray Hall, I know we've talked about it. That's a team that's been struggling, and to see them have a good day, I think is a good thing.
Really big deal
And
for
to
Ray Hall
see
to run.
Prema have a decent finish. You know, this is a
I
new team this year that's showing that they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
I think we're still at multiple consecutive races with a Prema top 10. I think
Yeah,
we're at either 6 or 7 now.
that's crazy
New
for a
team.
rookie team.
All right, biggest bust. Neither of us called this one right either.
No, I had
Rossi had an amazing race, and I'm happy to say it. I
yeah,
don't need a point.
nope, and I had Dixon who frankly, he should have been penalized more than he
Mm.
was. But no, he wasn't the biggest bust of the race. And then we had our bad boy, and neither of us got that one right either. I mean,
Right, but I think the fun of this question is less who gets points and debating who it was.
yeah,
And in this race, we've got three, as far as I'm concerned, two options. I do think Rasmussen was the bigger bad boy in
in
his
that,
conflict. But I mean, it was not good behavior from either of them.
well, he
But
started it.
Rasmussen started it, then he escalated it.
Yeah, no, I think both of them were bad. I mean, Daly lost his head completely. You could see that going into turn two, and when he tried to run into the side of Rasmussen there, that clearly wasn't a brilliant move. But then Rasmussen not conceding when Daly clearly had the corner and forcing him off track at 150 miles an hour. That's bad, really bad behavior in my point. So for those two, I'm giving the bad boy to Rasmussen for sure.
But but Scott Dixon
Yeah,
really ruined. I mean, Penske still had a great day for Penske,
right.
but this would have been the miracle Penske was looking for. This would have been
Yeah,
Penske Day
yeah. 3 cars in the top 10 with power on
with
the top
power
step.
on the top step.
Yeah,
And Newgarden was running, I believe, ahead of Eilert. I think he would have finished fourth or fifth.
yeah. It was it was really unfortunate, and I guess given the severity though of the crash he caused, I'm still going to give it to Rasmussen, even though I just can't believe Dixon did what he did because he's a smarter driver than that.
I also, yeah, I mean, I have to wait what I expect from them. Rasmussen is kind of known for mixing it up. Dixon is a pro. He shouldn't be doing those things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm also obviously I'm really, really biased because this takes out my wild prediction that I was so excited. Was you were blown away when I predicted
Oh
that
yeah,
there would be 3 Penske drivers in the top 10. You said there's so little way that's going to happen. I'll
I
offer you a wild amount of points for it.
yeah. I was going to give you 10 points for it, and you
I
would have
almost
taken
had him.
all of them, but you got two, and you were clearly on the way to 10. So I'll give you 3 points
Thank you,
for
Harvey.
that prediction, since
Thank
they
you.
cost me so much.
Well, sure.
My prediction proved to be wildly
You know
off.
what? It wasn't as outlandish as it could have been. We only had
No, yeah, only 2 cars out. The
Harvey predicted, by the way, that 0 drivers would do not finish, that we would
Yeah,
have 27 race finishers this race.
and when they made it through the first turn on the start, I was like, "That's it."
You're telling me there's a
That
chance.
was the big moment where I thought, and then Ferrucci just blows it again.
Yeah, all on his own.
I think
It
from now
didn't take
on
a
when someone
forced
does
error.
yeah, I think from now on when someone does a bonehead move on the track, we're gonna call it a Ferrucci.
I'm
Oh man, that
okay
was
with
a
that.
Ferrucci.
I'm okay with that. He's he's had moments of pure brilliance, but he's had plenty of Ferrucci's.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm happy to I'm happy to give him props when he does well, like at Road America, and drivers deserve to be called out when they don't. But that was just a bizarre moment for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, overall a pretty good day for the two of us.
All told, that's 2 points for you, Harvey,
Yeah.
for your prediction of whale power.
And 5 points for
And
you.
5 points for me because you were very generous about my bad luck in my wild prediction. I don't know
That's
that
right.
I would have been. I'm very competitive. And I also got 2 podium drivers. So good for both of us, but even better for me. We've got another week to see if you can make it up.
We've got 2 weeks. We've got
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we've got Milwaukee in 2 weeks. I'll be
Of course we
there
do.
at the track. And then we've got the season finale in Nashville. So watch me, watch your mirrors because I'm coming. I'm
We'll
coming
see how
for
you
you.
do.
All right. Well, this was a really fun race. I couldn't have been more glued to the set as I watched these guys compete right down to the finish.
There
Um,
was there was not I had to like run to the bathroom. There was not a moment where I didn't want to be watching TV. There was not a moment where there wasn't something exciting going on. Um, my house equipped the ability to switch to the Sky Sports feed, which, if any American fans, you have that opportunity, do it because they don't go to commercial break. Um, there wasn't a second that wasn't worth watching.
Yeah, and the beauty of this race and IndyCar in general, again, they proved it again this race, is you're going to get great wheel to wheel action up and down the grid because every position counts. And these cars can race close together. They don't need to back off because of dirty air and some of the other stuff. So, and I texted you this during the race. I said, I've seen more action in the last 10 laps of this race than I've seen in the whole Formula One season. And I love Formula One, but if you want to see great racing, you got to watch IndyCar.
Yeah, guys, we hate to keep bringing up the comparison, but I keep making it mentally too. Like, strategy is we had 3 different strategies on the podium.
Right. Yeah.
That's fascinating to keep track of. For the last 20 laps, you're sitting there thinking about, okay, so this is falling into place like this, and this is how this is happening, and a caution here would really screw Pillow, and
Yeah.
it's just so much more interesting when the race finish isn't inevitable, barring mistakes by lap 10.
Right. And there were so many different ways that could have played out. If a caution had come out at some point during those last 20 laps, would have thrown everything into chaos again.
Pillow ran, I think 2 or 3 more laps after Garden Power went in, and I'm sitting there thinking, extend this stint. You're picking up time anyway. Why not? Keep your used tires, give them less. But also, if a caution comes in, you're dead.
Yeah.
If a caution comes in, you're finishing outside of the top 10.
Right.
It's such a fun head game. Like there's sports and chess going together, and I really like it.
So you had some notes. What surprises did you have?
Colton Herta. What's up, man?
Yeah, this is a driver that I expected to challenge for maybe not the season championship, but he should be a top 5 driver.
I thought he'd win a race this year.
Yeah, he finished 10th and started 13th. That's meh. And
it's not.
Driving,
yeah, I don't expect him to win the race starting 13, but I expect him to move up to 7, 8.
Yeah, he's driving for one of the best teams in Andretti Global. He has proven himself to be a really good race driver over the years. But he's 7th in the championship points coming into this race. I was really surprised to see how just average he's been this year.
He's interesting to me. I go a couple of races watching Colton Herta do really, really well. And I get into my head that he's a winner. And he is. I mean, he's a race winner. He's a fantastic driver.
Yep.
In my head, he's up there with the best guys. And then right when I get comfortable with that line of thinking, he's got 3 or 4 just kind of mid. He's never bad, but he didn't do anything, didn't go anywhere. And this is a great track to make passes. And he's a great road course driver. I was just surprised.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Am I was surprised by Andretti overall in this race because he was their top finisher.
None of them
So,
really did anything. Erickson didn't really move. Kirkwood went down 1.
right.
That's been a good season. So I don't know if they were just having issues. And maybe that's Colton's issue this race too. So maybe I should give him a little bit of a break. But
Yeah.
yeah, just a really uneventful weekend for Andretti.
Yeah, we'll see if Andretti, comes back in these next 2 races, and we'll find out a lot more. Even though the championship's settled, there's a lot of fun things to look forward to in these next 2 races. So
Every race comes with a podium. There's a
Yeah.
winner every time.
We will be back in 2 weeks before the Milwaukee 250.
Guys, Milwaukee's an incredible city, and we
Yeah.
can't wait to tell you about it.
And that track is a blast to watch a race at. So if you haven't watched a Milwaukee race, make sure you tune in. I will be there, and I will try to get some of the same kind of insights that we got from Jeff in Portland. But until that time, I just want to thank Caz, you, for your thoughts about this race. Great job. Jeff, who has left to go cover the press conference, thank you for joining us. And I want to thank everyone who's listening at home for joining this journey with us. We will see you in Milwaukee. Have a great couple of weeks, everyone.
And you know what? Thank you, Harvey. Have a good one, everybody. See you next race.